Hey, thanks for watching Four Color Commentary. I'm Mark Allen, and back for some more fanzine action. You know, fanzines are just cool publications made by fandom. Some random fans, or usually one or two random fans, get together and say, hey, let's do a magazine or a regular publication celebrating comic books, or celebrating, in this case, comic books, in other cases, other hobbies. But comics fanzines are just a lot of fun for me. I've always, for a long time, thought so. I'm going to share a couple that are very near and dear to my heart today. One, because it was a fanzine done back in the younger days of a very good friend of mine who I talk about on this YouTube channel a lot, Michael Vance. And but the other one I'm going to share just because it's special to me, or the other two, I should say. But anyway, this is a series of fanzines from back in the day, all back in the 70s, 78 and before. But this is called Crypt of Comics. Okay, now here's number one, first issue here, Crypt of Comics. Crypt of Comics was a fanzine done to highlight, of course, amateur art and storytelling, but it was done. Wasn't done in a way that I've seen any other fanzines done. This was done in newspaper form. You unfolded it like a newspaper, and you looked at there's of course a whole comic story there. You open it up, and you have text pieces, you have prose, you have comics, you have writing and art, and just really cool stuff. Very cool fanzine, and this was the love child of my good friend Michael Vance back in the day. I have here the first four issues: issue 1, issue 2. Have issue 3, and I don't know who. I could look inside and do who did that, but that's really a very cool looking cover there. Okay, I love the attitude, the shading on that, the tones, and then there's number 4 here, and with a very different kind of cover there, a more cartoony cover. Okay, but this was given to me by Michael years ago, and he actually repackaged them, and he put them in this the first Cryptic of the first year. This was a quarterly, 1 through 4 for $2, and he did a cover to go around the 4 issues. This is really cool. So I just thought, that was kind of neat to look at that and to see how that was done. On the back here, you have a very cool illustration of Captain Kirk and Spock by artist Steve Irwin, who actually was the primary artist on the first ongoing Deathstroke comic series back in the 80s. But there's a very nice, very cool illustration of Spock and Kirk by Steve Irwin there. And so that would have been circa 1978. Okay, and but probably one of the coups of this particular comic, or this particular fanzine, I should say. And I would think if I could talk to Michael today, and if I talked to him, he would say the same thing. But the coup for this ongoing publication had to be the interview that Michael secured with none other than Alex Toth. There's a lengthy interview with Alex Toth here about violence in media and just really cool stuff. And it actually continues. Starts on the it's dated December 3rd, 1977. Interview by Michael Vance. Starts on the back page and continues, wraps up on page 9. But just a very cool, thing for a fanzine to be able to do is to have a, for the writer of a fanzine to have an interview with the likes of Alex Toth, one of the greatest artists ever in comic books. Now, just so you know, that interview was, I believe, reprinted. And I don't remember what issue, but reprinted in one of Tomorrow's magazines. I'm trying to think right off the bat what it was, and now all of a sudden I can't remember which magazine did that. Alter Ego reprinted Michael's interview with Alex Toth. So you'd have to do some research to find out what issue that was. It's not like you're going to find one of these floating around out there these days. You might. I could be wrong. So anyway, just a cool Crypt of Comics. Here was issue number. Which issue was this? This wasn't one of the first four issues. Well, I can't see. Okay, I don't see which issue this was. It says this issue is dedicated to my father-in-law, but I don't see which issue this was. But that doesn't matter. What's really cool is the cover. It's a takeoff of, one of the old EC horror books, and I love that one. So Crypt of Comics, and very cool, very cool. So anyway, that's Crypt of Comics fanzine from way back when. Michael Vance, my good friend, his baby. Okay, and then a couple of issues that I want to show you here of maybe one of the most well-known fanzines ever, and that is Contemporary Pictorial Literature, or much easier to say, CPL. This was the fanzine put out by the Charlton Comics crew, is what they were known as at the time. They were all artists who worked at Charlton Comics. If you are a John Byrne fan, and especially a fan of his early art, as I am, this is a book that you just want to. These are books that you want to get. These are fanzines you want to get if you can. Sometimes they go up and down in price, and sometimes they're just untouchable almost for most people. Sometimes, I shouldn't say untouchable, they bite into your comic budget quite a bit. Sometimes you find them for nothing. Okay, but this here is what I'm about to show you here is issue number 8, Contemporary Pictorial Literature number 8. Mr. Miracle cover on there, and there's just a lot of great early Byrne art in here, but not just Byrne. Okay, there's a Neil Adams Dead Man done just for CPL. Okay, I'm going to try to go through and show you a lot of some of this art. Dennis Fujitaki, who is someone I only recently come to realize who he was. I have some Dalgota comics. Never read them. Didn't realize that Dennis Fujitaki was the artist. But this is an early Dennis Fujitaki piece, an Iron Man piece, inked by a P.Craig Russell, and his early work as well. But just a very cool Iron Man Fujitaki Russell breakdown there. I really like the concept. You got the old armor back there, looking a little bit forlorn as Tony styles the newer stuff, the newer suit of armor there. Okay, and so very cool stuff there. Here's a really wonderful John Byrne Batgirl. Okay, John's signature looked very different back then, and I may, if I can get it clear enough, get it to show clear enough, I may show you that. I can't remember this fantasy artist's name, but there's a wonderful, wonderful fantasy piece by Steven something. I don't remember what the F is for. But anyway, just a great, he was no amateur even then. Here's a great Punisher short story with early John Byrne. I mean, look at that Punisher's face. Look at his profile. You can tell it's early Byrne. But you can still tell it's Byrne. John Byrne just always had such a distinctive style. You have some more John Byrne stuff there. The Thing. Okay, just some various, The Thing taking a bath and, and everything. And then you have a Joe Sinnott spread. I can't quite explain this. A Joe Sinnott spread of the Plaything of the Month. Okay, so but that's something that's a position you never expected to see Ben Grimm in. Okay, and then another illustration there, very detailed illustration by John Byrne, early Byrne stuff there. Okay. And the great thing about this book is even when you got into, there were illustrations just throughout. Even as you got into the letters pages and such as that, you still had, there's a C.C. Beck article in here called Who Needs Reality? Haven't read it, so I'm not sure what it means, but you got this C.C. Beck illustration as well. Okay, goes with it. And you have, I should know who this character is. Another John Byrne character. Is that Black Orchid, maybe? I don't know, but another John Byrne There's John Byrne's, let's see, John Byrne, inked by, can't quite tell who that's inked by. The top signature, though, is Byrne's signature. Okay, and so, anyway, let me get a fuller, but very distinctive Byrne art, obviously. Okay, so that's issue number 8, CPL. And just to remind you that it is a Charlton publication. There's a Staten E-Man illustration there. And let's see here. And then a very cool John Byrne illustration on the inside back cover, Submariner, in his costume there, his full costume, his misconceived costume, if you ask some. I didn't think it was so bad. Could have done without the open chest kind of thing, but other than that, it was all right. So that's CPL issue number 8. I only have 2 issues of CPL. Wish I had more, but I do have issue number 11 here. It kicks off with a fantastic Alex Toth cover. Now, only Alex Toth could take simple black and white and make something awesome out of it. Alien ships descending upon a battle or a trawler, or I don't know. It's not. It looks like a cruise ship actually. So it doesn't look like a cruise ship. It's not a battleship, not a cruise ship. I don't know what it is, but it's a ship. And you got these wonderful, simple but elegant Alex Toth spaceships cruising in on the ship. You open right up and you start off with a John Byrne illustration there, and a Don. I'm not sure who this Don Mites perhaps, Kazar and Zabu, and then John Byrne on the opposite page. John Byrne's illustration on the opposite page. Let me just see if I can pick out the. You actually have a Wrightson illo in here. Okay, you got. So there's some Bernie Wrightson. All right, love fanzines, love them. Got some Raj 2000 by Byrne in there. You got Jim Starlin doing some Warlock. Okay. These CPLs just fantastic if you could find them. Rich Buckler, I'm a Rich Buckler fan. I like his Hercules there. John Byrne doing a, I don't know if that's supposed to be Howard or not, but certainly as a duck. You got a John Byrne sketch study on Ben Grimm. Got another Rich Buckler doing Ben Grimm. Okay. Got a wonderful Gil Kane Iron Fist illustration. It's just great. Oh, this is something. By the way, I don't know when you think you first saw Galactus with his helmet off. Most would say the first Hercules miniseries from the 80s. The beautifully drawn, illustrated Bob Layton Hercules miniseries. Hercules actually got to drinking with Galactus, if you can believe that. Poured a potion into Galactus's giant-sized drink and got Galactus so relaxed that he took off his helmet. Well, guess what? John Byrne drew him without his helmet long before that. Okay, so there's a wonderful John Byrne Galactus illustration with Galactus helmet off. Let's see, just for posterity's sake, what year was this? 1974. So there's Galactus in 1974, helmetless. Okay, so love that. Okay, got a great, very dynamic, even though early, very dynamic Silver Surfer illustration by John Byrne there. You can turn it that way; it's still very dynamic. Okay, great Joe Sinnott Galactus. You see why I like these. Just thumbing through and looking at the art, it's fantastic. Wonderful 2-page spread. Rich Buckler's Deathlock. Gotta love it. So, there's a comedic flash sketch by Byrne. At least he's got his mask and his boots on. There you go. See if I can get a clear I want to be able to get that clearly in there so I can maybe use that, put that on the screenshot. All right. And then you do have a short, Raj 2000 story in there. A couple of pages, about 3 or 4, looks like 5, 6, 6 pages. Okay. And then you got letters from the reader, and you have illustrations throughout. A little headshot there of Jonah Jameson. And then on the back, you even have a Neil Adams Havoc. I mean, who wouldn't love this fanzine? Even at this size, just great stuff. So anyway, some more fanzine fun, and just thought you might enjoy it. Crypt of Comics, and which if you can ever get them, I guess, I would certainly suggest, picking them up. They're fun. I don't know where you'd ever find them, but they're out there. People bought them, and so you never know what you might come across. Crypt of Comics and CPL, Fanzine Fun. You gotta love it. But anyway, that's it for today, and toying with the idea of showing some more fanzines, also showing some of the Golden Age comics in my collection. I don't have many, but the ones I have, I'm proud of. And so anyway, who knows what may come up next. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. I'm at 199 subscribers as of this video. I just need one more to make 200, and top that hill, and then maybe go on to a next challenge. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next video.